Hello and welcome to Shakespeare 2020 LA. Shakespeare 2020 LA is the Los Angeles division of Shakespeare Project 2020, a worldwide challenge created by Ian Desher to read the entire Shakespeare canon in 2020. Shakespeare 2020 LA is comprised of Los Angeles professional actors, and our players today are Jason Rennie, Martin Hillier, Taylor Marr, Sasha Venn, Megan Wells, Ron Dorn, Pamela Roylance, Chris Klein, J.D. Mata, Vincent Aclavea, Leilani Toon, Ariel McIntyre, Kay Nicholson, Elizabeth Juvenal, and Logan Chase. I'm Mary Carrick. Much Ado About Nothing, one of Shakespeare's comedies, as it ends in a wedding, it's certainly problematic due to our current sensibilities. Much like The Taming of the Shrew, with Kate's brutal treatment by Petruchio and her final pronouncement to renounce herself and become an Elizabethan Stepford wife. It's tough to stomach these days. As actors and directors, we try every which way to deal with this text, with sarcasm, brokenness, or resolve. Hero, given the name not by her attributes, is in a similar dilemma. Perhaps named Hero by her father, she subjects herself to all the good girl qualities her father considers admirable. Thus, she is his hero, quiet, lovely, the good child seen but not heard. But the play gives us little indication of who she is, aside from the dutiful daughter and, the cousin to the silly, free-thinking kin, Beatrice. Beatrice, as her perfect mate, Benedict, talks of running from love, but continually circles the flame, wanting to feel the heat, desiring to be loved, accepted, and heard. Hero, to me, is tragic. The merciless accusation by Claudio, so quick to believe that she was unfaithful, is heartbreaking. His public denouncement, worse than and addition to leaving her at the altar, is hideous. Beatrice's response, her plea to Benedict to kill Claudio, is what we all feel would serve for the injury he inflicted. And as for Hero in the final all's well that ends well scene, I'd wish she'd kick him square in his cod dangle and take off with the girls to Vegas, glad to have dodged that bullet. Beatrice and Benedict, for all their much ados, are at least cognizant of their need to be loved for themselves, warts and all. There may be more heated arguments and pot smashing at their home, but I think that they're more honest in their call for their connectivity. Thanks for tuning in today for Shakespeare 2020 LA. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our continued labor of love. William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing.
Act 1, Scene 1. Before Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, governor of Messina, Hero, his daughter, and Beatrice, his niece, with a messenger.
I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honour on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed better bettered expectation than you much expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him, even so much that joy could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath holp to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. What is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1, so that if he have enough wit to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. For it is all the wealth that he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat. It never changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught up than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he had caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Renato, are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no, for then you were a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you should still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
Oh, what? My dear Lady Disdain. Are you let Yellowing?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Oh, well, then courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find it in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women, They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Well, God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Oh, scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere a face as yours were.
Well, you're a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue and so good a continuer. Ha! But keep your way in God's name, I've done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
This is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not many words, but I thank you.
Please it, your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonato. We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Oh, yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eye she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
Well, I can see yet without spectacles, but, and I see no such matter. And there's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May does the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Ah, it's come to this. Faith. Hath not the world one man but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor's 80 again? Oh, go to a faith, and thou wilt need thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Oh, look, Don Pedro's returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonatos?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Oh, you hear, Count Claudio. I mean, I can be secret as a dumb man, I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he's in love. And with who? That's your grace's part. And mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so word uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord. It is not so, no, 'twas not so, but indeed, God forbid it should be so.
If my passion changed not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen. If you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
And by my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two fates and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a retreat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric? All women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go, the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
Oh, with anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, but not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking? Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
And if I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me. And he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
Ooh, the savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead and let me be vilely painted. And in such letters as they write, here is good horse to hire, let them signify under my sign, here may you see Benedict the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
Oh, I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you will temporize within the hours. In the meantime, good Senor Benedict, repair to Leonatos. Commend me to him and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he had made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage. So I commit you
To the tuition of God for my house if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Oh, nay, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it, but how? And thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their place vacant, and their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying how I like her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was it not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no loves grief by his complexion. but lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look what will service fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part is some disguise, and tell fair hero that I am Claudio, and die in her bosom. I'll clasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Act 1, Scene 2. A room in Leonato's house. Enter Leonato and Antonio, his brother.
How now, brother? Where is my cousin your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it. But brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the events stamp them, but they have a good cover. They show well outward the Prince and Count Claudio walking in a thick pleached alley in mine orchard, where thus much overheard by a man of mine, the Prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece your daughter and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No, we will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it.
Act 1, Scene 3. Another room in Leonato's house. Enter John the Bastard and Conrad, his companion.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is well without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goes about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jest, eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure, sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business, laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this, till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. And this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain dealing villain. I am trusted with the muzzle and enfranchised with the clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I come yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who, the most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward March chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty room, comes me, the prince, and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped behind the heiress, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Act 2, Scene 1. A hall in Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, Antonio his brother, Hero his daughter, and Beatrice his niece, with Ursula and Margaret.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned after an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd with thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So being thus too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I would not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
But what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I will lead his sixpence to Ernest of the bear herd, and lead his apes into hell.
Well then, go you into hell.
No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me like a little old cuckold with his horns on his head and say, get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. There's no place for you maids. So deliver I up my apes and away to St. Peter. For the heavens, he shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it pleases you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust? To make an account of her life with a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there's no measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero, wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a syncopace. The first suit is hot and hasty like a Scotch jig, and full as fantastical. The wedding, mannerly modest as a measure, full of state and ancientry, and then there comes repentance, and with his bad legs falls into syncopace faster and faster till he sink into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Brother, make good room.
And lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when you please you to say so.
When I like your favor, for God defend, the lute should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof. Within the house is Jove.
Why, then your visor should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
I know you well enough. You are Signor Antonio.
And a word I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here's his hand, dry hand up and down. You are he. You are he.
At a word I am not.
Come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to. Mum, you are he. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What, see?
Oh, I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he ever make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I shall tell him what you say.
Oh, do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy, and then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his being.
Are not you, Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself? Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrust not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Into the next willow, about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Well, that's spoken like an honest drover, so they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep into sedges. But that my Lady Beatrice should know me and not know me, the prince's fool. Huh. It may be that I go under that title because I'm married, yeah, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, and so gives me out. I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where is the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think him told him true, that your grace had got the good will of this young lady, and I offered my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Will thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss. The rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If they're singing, answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath quarreled to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, no. She misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak but with one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. You know what she told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. Oh, she speaks poignards. Every word stabs. You know, if her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star, and I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules turn the spit. Yeah, Clem. Cleft his club to make the fire, too. Oh, come, talk not of her. You shall find her the eternal latte in good apparel. I would to God, some scholar would conjure her, for certainly while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follow her.
Look, here she comes.
Ah! Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch you a hair off the great Com's beard, do any embassage to the piggeries, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Well, here is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it, a double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
I faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone in the world, but I am sunburned. I shall sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your graces ne'er a brother like you? Your father hath got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another 4 working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried, but then there was a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I have heard my daughter say that she hath often dreamt of unhappiness, and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife of Benedict.
Oh Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love hath all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing, but I warn thee, Claudio, the time shall now go duly by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it. If you 3 will but minister such assistance, I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband, that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your 2 helps, will so practice on Benedict that, in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours. For we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
Act 2, Scene 2. Another hall in Leonato's house. Enter Don John and Baraccio.
It is so the Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affections ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman of Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unreasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince, your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale, such as one Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue.
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then, find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the court Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Attend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as in the love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero. Hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can, I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Act 2, Scene 3. Leonato's orchard. Enter Benedict. Boy? Boy!
Senor?
In my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I am already here, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. Such a man as Claudio. I've known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife, and now he had rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I've known when he would have walked 10 mile afoot to see a good armor, and now he will lie 10 nights awake carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier, and now he has turned orthography. His very words are a fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it, till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, I am well. Another virtuous, I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Yes, rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician. And her hair shall be, whatever color, please God. Prince and Monsieur Love. Oh, hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, and hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath it himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended. We'll fix the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthasar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. Tax not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency, to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee, sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing, since many a wooer doth commence his suit. To her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Nay, pray thee, come. Or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's not worth noting.
Why? These are very cliches that he speaks. Notes, notes, forsooth, and nothing.
Oh, now divine heir, now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep's gut should hale men's souls out of their bodies? Pfft, a horn for my money when all is done.
Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. 1 foot in sea and 1 on shore, to one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all of your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Sing no more ditties, sing no mo, of dumps so dull and heavy, the fraud of men were ever so, since summer's first was levy. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
Ah, no, faith thou singest well enough for a shift.
He had been a dog that should have howled thus, they would have hanged him. And I pray God his bad voice bode no mischief. I'd as lief heard the night raven come what plague could have come after it.
Yea, marry, dost thou hear Balthasar? I pray thee get us some excellent music for tomorrow night. We would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye. Stalk on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviours seemed to ever abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How, I pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
Ah, he hath taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed, so your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Oh, now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets.
Oh, that.
Oh, She tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me, yea, though I love him, I should.
Oh, well, then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so, and the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afeard she will do an desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it, and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should. It were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body, we have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have deft all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you tell him, Benedict, of it, and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere before she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed shun some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you, and in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with a great discretion or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, he must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do, for the man doth fear God. Howsoever it seems not in him by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go see Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport will be when they hold one an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
Oh. Well, this can be no trick. the conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. You seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They will say I bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, I can bear them witness, and virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me. And by my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. And shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! World must be peopled. And when I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Oh, here comes Beatrice. By this day, she is a fair lady. And I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains than those thanks that you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message.
Yea, just so much as you take upon a knife's point and choke a dog with all. You have no stomach, signor. Fare you well.
Against my will, I'm sent to bid you come into dinner? There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. And that's as much to say any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I'm a Jew. I will go get her picture